In a normie world where two slider scare actors, Skunk and Napalm, talk about their love for the industry, how they became involved, character development, names, and everything you'd want to know within the haunt industry. Guest stars, makeup, and more seen from the average actor's point of view. For those with a love for horror, scare acting, haunted houses, SFX, or just wanting some background noise, we have it all. Welcome to the shit show, fuckers. Buckle up for this sparky ride.
For all the things that were left unsaid, for all the times I found promises dead, I had nightmares along the way.
Welcome back to the show for episode 3. Today we're talking about our most anticipated topic so far, sliding.
Woohoo!
I'm your host, Skunk.
I'm your co-host, Napalm.
And today we'll be getting into it. Now, we have video footage for the first time. Trying to set it up with 2 cameras, 2 mics and everything. It did not work the way that we had planned on it working literally at all. So we're still trying to figure that out. We're new to all this, as you guys know. Our only 3rd episode ever of a podcast. So we're always improving with every episode. So we're going to try to figure that one out later on in the future. But today we're going to be digging into sliding, gear, characters, slider practice and training for what we've done personally, how to get better and improve. Another new thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be having our guest star on today, Holly Hood. He's our head slider at where we do haunt at and scare act and all that, our sliding. So he's going to come in, give you guys kind of the scoop whenever he's available to hop in and kind of go
at a random point.
Yeah, we don't know when he's going to show up. We literally have no idea. So he will join. I promise you he will make an appearance at some point in the video, and we're going to try to get as much info out of him before he disappears again in Holly Hood style. He loves to just make a random appearance and then disappear. So that's his thing. Even during haunt, he appears and disappears, and you can never find him and know where he's at. But he'll be giving a scoop on training new actors and kind of his background on being a slider and scare actor, and we'll just go from there. We'll let him take it. We'll get some photos up for you guys, maybe some video, and we'll just see what happens pretty much. But we'll get right into it instead of prolonging the intro anymore. So let's get right into episode 3.
Let's get it.
So, with Napalm, when did you first want to become a slider or discover that sliding was even a thing?
It was probably back in 2015. I visited Kings Island for the first time, and we were walking through, me and a bunch of my friends, and out of nowhere, dude slid up behind me and slid into a handstand as I touched in previous episode. And from that moment on, I was hooked. I was like, I want to do that. I want to be that guy. So I went home and researched bunch of stuff, watched tons of YouTube videos and everything like that, and finally found what gear they were using. So in 2018, finally got a job, saved up some money, and bought my own gear and started sliding in my backyard. And ever since that day, I've been hooked. I didn't slide at any other haunts at that time. I just kind of did it on my own, and then I wanted to put my time in acting other places so I can learn the ropes on how haunt works before I just jump straight into sliding. How'd you learn about it?
I kind of just stumbled across it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I went to haunt as a kid and everything, and saw the sliders, but I feel like there's just like a lapse in memory almost of like just not remembering,
right?
Like not really remembering the first time I discovered a slider. I'd kind of seen them, but then I had kind of forgotten that they were even a thing. And then I came back to haunt, and 21 as a scare actor, and that's kind of when I like rediscovered sliding and saw them for the first time in probably like over 10 years. And I just remembered their iconic costume at the time, which they had changed it up when I came back, but kind of just seeing that role and like learning how to get into that role was kind of what got me into it. And then seeing just what they do, the freedoms that they had and how everyone looks up to them was kind of what like idolized that role at the moment for me and made me want to get kind of into that role. But I knew that I had to build my time in order to get there, which I think is worth it in the end. But
now, was there any certain person or slider that stood out to you at that time?
Honestly, I don't think so. I didn't really know many of them. I didn't really talk to them. I just knew of them and saw them when they kind of came into our zone, but I never really interacted with them. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't know his name for the longest time until I actually became part of the slider team. But his name's Buck, and that's the
Mm,
guy who slid into the handstand. I asked around the park for years trying to find out who this dude was, and finally I talked to Hollywood, I believe, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, that's Buck. He used to be one of the OG sliders at the park, and he's the one who really sealed the deal for me to get into this."
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm just trying to think of where we can go before Hollywood just pops in here magically as he
Well, we're
does.
just trying to cover as much as we can think of in the meantime. And I mean, if he shows up, he just shows up. He just makes an appearance, and we'll switch gears. I mean, we're basically trying to do a two-part right now, like two-part episode into one. So
Yeah,
bear with us
be a
because
little
it's gonna
chaotic,
blend
but
a
it's
bit.
really fun.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time though. With the
All right, so it's opening night. What do you do to prepare yourself to hit the street sliding? Like, where's step one after clocking in?
I don't know. I feel like I don't really do much, honestly. I kind of just die in the green room beforehand. There's times when I'm working another job or something, and then I realize I have to go to haunt, and like it's an amazing experience, but at the same time, it's like you're already exhausted from your previous job. You got to get that energy, and you got to get into that character beforehand. So I kind of just disassociate like entirely. Like I walk in. There's a moment, last year or 2 years ago, rather, when I just walked in and I had a hood on, like the hoodie
Yep.
up over myself. It
Fucking
was like
dead.
sprinkling, and I had all my stuff just hanging down by my sides, and I just walked in the room, and I think I literally just fell on the floor, and then I just laid there for like
I remember you
5
laying
minutes.
in front of the fan, just trying to lock in.
Our supervisor just laughed so hard because she's like, I literally cannot with you guys, but like just kind of disassociating and then building that kind of energy and like knowing that you're back in that environment and like trying to relock in was tough. But I feel like I don't really have a ritual beforehand.
You don't
You
have a
know,
pre-hunt ritual?
no, I kind of just pound like monsters, and then whenever it hits, then I just go off the
Get locked
walls. Yeah.
I gotcha.
What's your pre-haunt ritual?
Mine starts with music. On the
Yeah.
whole way to the park, wherever I'm going, music's blaring. Don't care if people don't like my music. I don't care. It gets me locked in, and then once I clock in, once that costume goes on, it's personality switches.
Yeah.
No longer me. Napalm kind of takes over, and he's chaotic from there. It's get in, suit with makeup time. They always get music blaring, so I'm always in there dancing. They're always making fun of me because I'm walking around just dancing, throwing it back a little bit.
That is true.
Yep, but just trying to get music's big for me. Is it helps me get locked into a character. I get a playlist I got that I listen to the moment I get off my day job, the moment I get to the park, even up to walking out for opening ceremony. I'm always playing music on my phone or in the makeup room dancing. Trying to make people laugh. Just trying to get in that headspace of, hey, let's go, it's go time.
Yeah, definitely talking to the makeup artist, I feel like in the beginning of the night kind of puts you in that like atmosphere and like
Getting the
knowing
makeup
that
line,
you're with
seeing all the other
everyone.
actors, everybody's trying to get in that same
Yeah.
headspace. So let's get locked in. We all got a job to do. Let's run it.
Everyone's getting hyped up together, getting in character together. You're all kind of like your normal self in that makeup line, but I feel like almost every single time when someone gets makeup done and then they're in full makeup and like they already have their costume on, you kind of see it's like a snap basically.
crazy.
Like as soon as
Yeah.
they get everything done, they're like in character. They're like bouncing off the walls, just ready to go.
That's crazy. They walk in because there's two lines. You get the line going in and the line coming out. Is they come in, they're all kind of a little nervous, trying to get ready for the night. They get in, get the makeup on. When they walk out, some people go straight to character. And
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to see. It's like two different doorways. They come in normal, they leave a freak. I mean that in the best way possible.
some people can't get out of that though, like until they're literally out of costume or out of makeup.
I
It's
struggle
weird.
with it. It's like we'll get behind the scenes after doing closing ceremony. People are kind of dead. They just worked all night, and especially with you, me and you, we feed so well together. It's
Yeah.
like we're ready to run it back. Do another 8 hours, and people are looking at us like, why in the hell are they still going?
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
once I get locked in, I'm locked in. I don't want to quit.
So what was your first time sliding and kind of what was your opinion on it? Like your first kind of taste to sliding and actually doing it with the gear that you had at the time.
My first slide ever.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Wipeout Central.
Yeah.
I didn't know much at the time. I looked everywhere, and at the time there wasn't many videos on how to make gloves or what shoes to wear or what knee pads to wear. So I found Killer 187s. So luckily I had good knee pads. I didn't start off with some shitty ass fucking Walmart knee pads. But
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere. But I got good knee
Don't
pads.
do construction knee pads. I've seen it
don't-
so
don't-
many times.
Don't do it.
People get like drywall knee pads and stuff, and they think
You
it's
will
gonna cut
shred
it. Don't
your
do it.
knees. Yeah. So I went out in the street, and I had my little brother record me, which I had the recording somewhere. I'm not gonna post that video because it's embarrassing as shit. Yeah. No, I just took off sprinting. I didn't know at the time how to judge speed or anything like that. Took off sprinting through the road, and I hit the ground, and I hit the front end of my knee patch, which caused me to do a front flip, and road rash happened, and that was that. But I was like, still that was kind of fun. But growing up, I was always sliding around like on the school floors, burning holes in my sweatpants. So I kind of had somewhat of an idea how to hit the ground, but now I got gear to do it.
Yeah.
But learning how to land on my knees was a big learning factor for me. Is don't land too far forward, because then you eat shit, and then you go to the dentist and get new teeth.
Yeah, true. So did you for your gear? Did you do the? You say you had 187s.
Yep.
To start off, but for your pucks, for your hands, did you just do the old washer?
Yeah, it
method?
was the 90-degree flex conduits for your fingers.
Yeah.
Which I still use every once in a while on certain gloves. But yeah, it was washers, and I would stack washers on my palms, and just I'd do 2 to 3, put 4 of them on there. Because at the time I didn't know about sparking pucks or anything like Insane Hom production, anything like that at the time. So I was like, what can I put on my palm to keep from burning through my gloves? And I burnt through so many pairs of gloves just trying to figure out what worked. And the shoes, I took basketball shoes and I super glued steel toes to it, which is very effective depending on what ground you're sliding on, because I know out west, like Knots and all them out there, and I mean other groups throughout the states, is they still wear basketball shoes with steel toe, which there are pros and cons to each, but I've settled on for now is steel toe boots. That's a little cheaper for me. We found a cheap pair that we all love to use. Eventually I am going to learn how to make professional grade basketball shoes with steel toe for when I do trick sliding.
Yeah, I definitely think it depends on the style of sliding for what type of shoe
100%,
you wear.
because when you're using the basketball shoes with steel toes, you get more mobility out of your ankles. You can get certain angles on the steel toe that kind of glide better. Where on the boots is, you try to do a trick and your rubber catches, and then you don't spin properly, or you go to stand up and that rubber catches and it kind of fucks up your slide.
You just eat it sometimes. I was like, what gear would you kind of recommend for each stage of sliding? I know that there's big brands out there. You've got Killer 187s. Everyone's heard of them.
Yep.
You've got Insane Haunt Productions, another brand that a lot of people have heard of.
Insane Haunt Productions is a great place to get gear for your gloves. They don't sell knee pads. I think they're starting to get into the recap world a little bit.
Yeah.
But mostly it's all gloves, and I know they sell gaiters for your boots and some stuff for your shoes. But I get most of my stuff from there for my gloves.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff comes there. I know there's a lot of brands out there. Sinister Slide Gear.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are starting to try his stuff out, which I have not personally tried it. Would be open to try it.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with my 187s. I know there's also Smith Scabs, where that's another brand out there. I've only really seen it out west in California. Like the Decay Brigade and Knots.
Those are really popular out west.
Yeah, Smith Scabs are another good brand. Back to the Sinister is I know some people like his stuff. It'd be a good. I mean, I don't know if I'm experienced. I haven't used it, but from what it seems like, it'd be a good starter kit. He does sell starter kits and get you rolling. And he's kind of got a one-stop shop over there.
Yeah.
Where you can, you need shoes. He sells shoes, gloves. He's got gloves and knee pads. He's got knee pads. Any preference on your gear?
I kind of follow around the same. I would say for kind of what we do, heavy duty park sliding and like everyday sliding and stuff, I would definitely personally recommend 187s. I've never messed with the scab pads, but I know that out west, a lot of them like to use it. It's kind of 50-50 split between 187s and scab out there.
187s, the scabs. They say it's all about the kneecap. Like I think the scabs are more rounded, where the 187s are more of a flat surface to land on.
Yeah, definitely. But I would say for like a mid-grade pad, if you're not like hardcore trick sliding every single night, like beating them in and trying to learn and whatnot. I would honestly, I would go to recommend Sinister Slide Gear. I know he makes good pads and good builds for
Everybody
people
seems
that
like his
are,
stuff right now.
yeah, especially it's a cost friendly budget option for sliding. You don't have to go out blow a ton of money on 187s when you're not going to use them to their full potential. So I would definitely recommend, starting out and learning how to slide and trying to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Go for Sinister Slide Gear. I mean, his stuff seems like it holds up pretty well. Like neither of us have experience with his equipment, but it seems like if you're not, on them 24/7, just grinding them down, as hard as we do, then it'd definitely be a good buy for the money. So I would go for that.
Let's talk about your gloves. What do you like on your palm? Do you like more of the puck style, or do you like just a flint block, or do you just like one sparker strip across the palm?
I've kind of been experimenting. When I never got into the washers on the palm thing that everyone kind of did. I remember I watched a really old YouTube video. I think it's honestly like the only video out there of someone making slider
very
gloves.
little on making gloves.
Yeah, and it was so old by someone out in the West. But he just did the usual, washers on the palms, and that was basically it. But in my mind, I was like, I don't want to do that because that sounds dangerous. Like you lose those washers, it's your hand on pavement, and I didn't want to go with
Why do
that.
you think my palms are scarred to hell?
Yeah, exactly. So I started jumping into pucks because I grew up kind of snowboarding, skateboarding, all that, and that type of action sport world. And I knew about spark pucks that longboarders use, so I got those, and I started using those. And then a lot of people that we started with and were sliding with, they were all using washers still at the time when we got in, and I let a couple of them use my pucks, you included, and everyone kind of fell in love with the idea of pucks for certain types of sliding that you do on your hands because it's more of like a firm base to be able to use. It feels more stable, and for high impacts and stuff, it's nice.
Yeah.
And they don't break easy either. And I mean, there's so much variety. You've got normal skateboard pucks that you can put on there with like the 6-star pattern, like flint rods, or you've got the ones that we've been using now from Insane Haunt Productions, which are squares of ferricium.
The way I read mine, I believe it's a 3x3 that goes across my palm.
Yeah.
And then I got a square one that goes across right here in my knuckles. And you still get your hands, you can bend your hands a little bit more than a puck. With a puck there, you only get your fingertips to really move.
They're restricted a bit.
But the ones I'm experimenting with now is you get a little bit more mobility out of your hands.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and the sparks that come off of those are
way brighter.
It's insane. It is absolutely nuts.
I agree. I think depending on what you're doing, show sliding, trick sliding, and if everyday sliding.
I got a, warning on the bars and the square pucks. Those do get very hot.
Yeah.
Don't go grab your friends.
They will burn them.
We had a practice one night where our dumbasses were, hey, let's see how hot we can get these bars and grab each other's arms. And we ended up branding each other. So now we all got matching scars of square scars on our arms because we were very smart.
Don't touch a guest either.
Yeah, don't grab guests. As always, I guess, like, high five. Make sure that your palm cools down before touching somebody.
I try to avoid it because, I mean, with those fingertips, like we were talking about earlier, those 90-degree flexors, like some of those will have basically like little fingertip things on them. And if you don't bend those up and just leave them hanging out, those will sharpen over time and they will literally be like a knife. Like you can cut someone with those.
It's nuts.
So be careful. Always be mindful of the gear that you're using. And,
even the fingertips that Insane Haunt Production sells, those will eventually flatten out and they will be little pieces of metals that come off your fingers that, if you grab a guest or a guest goes for a high five or shake your hand, it will,
It is metal.
It will cut them.
Yeah. But that's something that a lot of people don't know about our gear and everything. So be mindful of the gear that you're wearing and how you're interacting with people, because last thing you want to do is hurt somebody.
Right. And then back to the pads, it's like I love my 187s. I love the pads in them, and they also make knee gaskets, which is knee braces, and there's a ring around your kneecap, so when you do hit the ground, it gives you a little bit more of a cushion when you hit the ground, because they done a study on sliding, and each time we hit the ground is equivalent to a small car accident. I didn't believe it. I watched watched the videos on it, and yeah, they did the impact testing, and it was equivalent to a small car crash. So protect your knees, people. Protect your knees. Even if you got bad ankles, wrap your ankles up, tape them up.
Yeah.
I know we tape our ankles up every night with duct tape. I know it's not ideal of the correct way to wrap your ankles, but whatever you can do to help your joints, because
more stability.
We will get old at some point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and your knees will hurt. Take care of yourself. Stretch before you go on the streets, during the night, and especially when you get home afterwards. Stretch before you go to bed. I know it seems silly, like why would I stretch before I go to bed? That's kind of crazy. No, it will help you the next morning not be as sore. I know I didn't believe it at first. I was like, I'm not going to stretch. Like I was a young guy, I'm not going to stretch. But now, as part of my daily routine, is I get out of bed. Even on like right now, it's in the middle of the summer. I still get out of bed every morning and I stretch, just to help prolong my knees, my joints, my ankles. I mean, I was blessed with bad knees and bad ankles, and I'm doing this. So yeah, stretching is very important. And hydrate. I know we mentioned it before. Water, people.
Water for sure.
Water.
And electrolytes.
Gatorade,
vitamin water,
Liquid
Powerade,
IV.
Yeah, Liquid IV.
Those are all great things.
Don't only drink water. A lot of people forget about that. You'll notice, like if you've never been dehydrated on electrolytes before, it feels weird. You will definitely feel it for sure, because like it'll be to the point where you're thirsty, but you'll be chugging as much water as possible and you will still feel like you cannot quench that thirst. And if you get to that point, drink electrolytes, Powerade, Liquid IV, anything like that, because it's dangerous. You don't want to overhydrate on water. It is possible, and it is really dangerous. So you want to make sure that you're balancing out those electrolytes in the water for sure.
BioFreeze, Tiger Balm, which I've, be your best friend. Ibuprofen, your best friend. Not sponsored, but be your best friends.
At the end of haunt nights, for sure, take care of yourself. Self-care is another part of sliding that you want to make sure that you're doing, and protecting your joints, because it will take a wear, and if you're not properly taking care of yourself, and you got to work, last year or 2 years ago, rather, we did, We did like 11 nights in a row of sliding.
Stupid. We did.
You got to take care of yourself.
6 to 8 hours a night, just sliding non-stop. It takes a toll. Oh,
we got Hollywood joining in.
What is going on, Hollywood?
Yo.
Not much. We got you. We live right now.
So this be Hollywood. He's our head slider in our park. He be training new people when they be coming in. He be beating the shit out of them when they need to be kicked in the ass. He will put you through the ringer, though. Let me tell you. Cardio, yes sir.
Yes sir. What's going on, Hollywood? True.
Literally.
True.
I tell you what, if you be showing up to training and you're not ready for it, Hollywood will definitely make sure that you're gonna feel it. He's gonna make you run some laps before some shit happens.
He put that weighted vest on you.
He will. Oh, there he is.
See what I mean? He's in and out.
He's in and out. We'll come back.
Well, we're going to name him Houdini. That's what we're going to name him.
So, I mean, we talked about it before. You get your name, and Hollywood's going to go over his name later on. But I'm telling you, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's about him just vanishing sometimes. Just disappears out of nowhere. Like, I really don't know, but I have a feeling that's why he's named the way that he is. I don't know what the relation is on that, but he might get a name change because of the way that he disappeared.
Oh, and he's back.
He's back.
There he is. No, you're
good. But anyways.
Tell the people who you are, Jay. Run it.
Oh, and he's gone. He ran at that time.
Right. He ran a little too gone. Oh, what a guy.
He can be in and out though, but we'll give him a little bit of time to see if he comes back and see what happens. But
We're sorry for the technical difficulties, but we will figure it out.
Yeah, we're still working and still learning and everything and figuring out what's happening. But in the meantime, before he comes back, what were kind of the first slides that you did to kind of get your feet on the ground and kind of your foot in the door, so to say, in the sliding community? Like, how did you start training yourself to improve and to get to where you are now?
How did I start? Let's go way back. I found an empty parking lot, and I had my one singular cone, and I set it up in the parking lot. My main thing was learning how to stop controllably without overshooting the cone. So yeah, went to the parking lot by myself. You know, it was somewhat in the evening time. Hours, 3-4 steps max. Slide to the cone, pop up, over and over and over and over again. And once I felt very comfortable doing that, then I threw it and trying to slide from different angles, sliding to my left, sliding to my right. You know, did that for hours and hours and hours. And then we had Beth and Brett. They both, you know, we kind of talked to them a little bit. They were sliders at the time. And, hey, can you come out and kind of show me a little bit more that I don't know about? And they came out and they showed me a couple of drills to run. But mostly is them two helped us both out a lot. But really, when we weren't with them, I was still at home in the driveway, just, you know, grinding it out, just learning the control factor on how to actually slide. I mean, it's very hard. I know it doesn't seem all that hard. You just throw your body on the ground and pop them back up. But, like, learning how far you can go with one step, how far you can go with 2 steps. Okay, if I run this way and I land this way, and how do I bail out? You know, just trying to learn the basics at first on how. Big thing was stopping. Because if you can't stop, it's going to be very, very hard for you to, you know, succeed in the slider world.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any certain things that, you know, you did?
Basic sliding, I feel like, is kind of what everyone dives into for their very first slides. I mean, just getting
somewhere.
Yeah, getting comfortable with the ground for sure, and just trying to make yourself comfortable with running and then dropping to your knees. I mean, I feel like personally, I never really had a problem with it, just due to my background with action sports, snowboarding, and all that stuff. You know, you kind of develop that over time, but someone who's never really had experience with that and running and just, you know, jumping at the ground is pretty scary for them.
Slider Jesus said it best: make peace with the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Like you might think that you're gonna hurt yourself jumping into it, especially if it's your first couple of slides. You don't know how the pads are gonna feel. But I would recommend, if you're ground shy and you don't want to just jump right into it, we train people to get as low to the ground as possible before actually going into that slide. If you run and then you just gradually decline into that slide, you'll naturally just go. Like, your body will know exactly what to do. You'll hit the ground the way that you need to do it. It might not be graceful or smooth the first couple times you do it, but
trust your gear.
Yeah, trust your gear. Just the closest you can get to the ground, and then just kind of push off into that slide. It's going to be real smooth. It's going to be quiet. It's going to feel great, and you're going to go far because it's using that momentum. And that's how we train our people, is to be smooth with it.
And we start training. It's even the step one on how to put the pads on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that, like, there's certain pads for each knee. Like, I mean, I'm guilty of it. Is when I first got my pads, I just threw them on. You know, this feels kind of weird. So then I was actually reading the tags, and there's actually left and right pads. But yeah, trust your gear. Like you said, you know, when we train people, we don't let them start off with a full sprint and hit the ground. It's a 1-step max until you get 110% comfortable hitting the ground.
Yeah.
And don't jump into your slides, people. I know you'll probably see me do it in a video at some point, because I am, you know. Don't jump into your slides.
Sometimes it's like subconscious, and you just do it.
There is a right way to jump into a slide, which I have taught myself to do without hurting myself.
Yes.
Don't do what I do.
Yeah. If it hurts when you hit the ground, stop doing it. Right. You're doing something wrong.
You'll see. I'm sure we'll have video up at some point, and, you know, future episodes where we will, you know, go to practices, and we'll kind of vlog a little bit on how to do certain things. If you see me do something stupid first, don't. If it's first time sliding, don't do the stupid shit.
Yeah.
I will try to, you know, not do so much stupid shit, especially this year, because last year I almost tore my ACL. And you remember that night I was limping around all night. Oh, you pulling a video?
I do.
We got video. This is, you know, pretty chill slide. I mean, you can kind of see what we mean by, you know, softly hitting the ground, on not jumping into it and slamming the ground. And the harder you hit the ground, you won't slide as far. I know a lot of people have asked me, why can't I slide that far? Why can't I slide that far? Like I'm pushing as hard as I can. Why can't I get the distance? A lot of the time it's because they're jumping straight into the slide instead of gradually, gliding with the ground, slowly coming to your knee pads and making contact and outwards. Where,
Yeah.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
Oh shit.
But I mean, on this, while we're waiting on Hollywood to connect, on this video, you can see one of our sliders, Fenty is his name, and you can see just kind of how gradual his slide goes in. And this is one of the moves that we kind of came up with as a collective. We like to call it the pissing dog for a reason, but you can kind of see the way he goes into this slide. And we'll see how he makes contact. See how he gets kind of low, but he still jumps into that. But the way that he uses that momentum to be able to just kind of carry himself through the
slide. How many steps he's got right there.
And you can see the power in each step that he's putting. It's about four slides or 4 steps, but look how far he went. He cleared basically that whole parking lot.
Right, he still had plenty of momentum to keep going too.
And you can see just kind of how much in control that he is with that. He's not slipping out or anything, full control. And that's a big thing that we like to teach our people, is to stay in control of the slides that you're doing. I mean, Hollywood can dig in deeper on that. He loves to drill people on control. If you don't got control, you ain't going to be a slider nowhere. No one's going to want you. And he's gone. But,
I love it.
Hollywood loves control. He will drill us constantly on control. And if we haven't said yet, I know we said that Hollywood is, our head slider and everything, but Hollywood was a big part of kind of shaping raw talent for Napalm and I into how we are today, and giving us tips on how to improve when we thought that we were already good, but still trying to learn from him. And when he joins back, he'll get into like the way that he likes to start teaching people. And I mean, he's got like full plans drawn up. He's got like football move papers and everything. It's crazy. He's got spreadsheets out there.
He'll break it down whenever, I think he's having connection issues is what he said.
Yeah.
I know he's also trying to work at the same time, but we'll get him on. He will. I have faith in him. He'll figure it out.
If he can't be on a lot today on this episode, we will get him back, because we want to get his full story and get you guys to hear kind of from his perspective. He's been sliding since, or he's been in Haunt rather. He's been in Haunt since I believe 2006.
Yeah, we talked to him earlier a little bit. He started in 2006.
So he's been in the Haunt industry for 20 years. Yeah, he's got some experience. He's got some hours. So I mean,
G-Paul status over here.
Yeah,
he still gets around like a young kid. It's crazy. He's been doing this shit for 20 years, and the way he moves, it's insane.
He's pushing 40, and he's still sliding with pads on. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how old you get. You can still be out there sliding. I know there's people out west, Ghost Town sliders that are still, 60 or whatever. Yeah. They still pad it up.
I know a few that I follow on Instagram that, they're 50-something years old, and they're still moving like they're in their 20s, and I'm like, that's impressive, but that just shows that if you learn the basics and be comfortable with what you're doing, take care of your body, you can do this for a very, very long time. I know I met a lot of people that were younger, and they didn't properly train themselves or take care of their bodies over the time. They do it 4 or 5 years max, and they're breaking down already.
Yeah.
I know eventually it's going to take a toll on everybody. It's taking a toll on me between now and when I first started, but it's I learned how to embrace and stretch and take care of my body and what to do, and proper stretches, techniques that we did before every practice, which we'll break down a spreadsheet of that. Eventually we'll probably end up posting that on the Instagram of kind of what we do to get going. But yeah, practice whenever you can. It's like any other sport. Sliding is a sport. Any other sport, you practice all the time. Same thing with sliding is. It's not just something you need to put the pads on one day and be a professional at. I mean, I don't claim myself to be a professional by no means. I'm still learning on the daily. I break down sliding videos from people all over the world, and I'm trying this year a lot. I'm going to try to perfect a lot of techniques that I'm seeing other sliders do in the industry. That I don't know about you. You You gonna work on some stuff this year?
Yeah, it gets hard to a point when you've kind of covered the bases of all the usual tricks people see, the 180s, 360s, jumping people. And that might sound like a lot to people that have never slid before, but I feel like that's kind of the baseline of like where you should be once you get up to the level of like professionally sliding and being employed by a place to be able to scare act as a slider. I mean, you never want to go into a place sliding to scare act and not be comfortable in what you're doing or not be versatile and be able to have a whole bunch of moves. And, people ask us all the time with 180s and stuff like, why do you do a 180 or why do you do a 360 and everything? Like, oh, it's useless. It's a show trick. It's a show slide. Like, you're never going to use that on the street. And I'll say, I mean, I know both of us, we use 180s all the time to get away from people and to see what's happening behind us. Because, I mean, you hear someone running up on you, you don't know what's happening, you don't want to stop and turn around and look at him and the unexpected happens. Right. Maybe he's coming to punch you or something. You never know. So being able to run, hit that 180, be aware of your surroundings and know what's happening and be able to fully control that, stand up, like have everything just smooth and planned out perfectly. It's impressive, and it's also a deterrence, because when the people that are like trying to mess with you see that you can do that and that you can get away from them and always keep an eye on them, they'll leave you alone. They'll walk away. They don't want to mess with you anymore.
It's also a great way to scare people too. You can walk up behind the group. They're walking away from you, and you can come up on their left or right, and you bust that 180 and pop up face to face with them, and it's kind of that. Well, what the hell just fucking happened? It's just, I was normal, and the next thing you know, the dude did a 180 and stood up in front of me. Like, what the hell?
Or changing direction. I mean, you can be walking, you're like, hey, I want to go behind me now. You hit a 180 and just walk back the other way. But I would say what I want to try to get better at and always improve on it is control. Like, I feel you're always improving control and trying to just make you look smoother in your tricks and even just your evasion techniques, Dodge and evade is something that we do, that we call it, where we'll intentionally have cones down or people walking.
We do it with people.
We slide directly at them, and we got to be able to get out of their way. We do a thing where we slide, we get right up on someone, and we will pop up on one foot, change direction, and shoot out the other way.
Yep.
I wish I had a video of it to show it, because it's a really useful technique, but I feel like that's definitely the biggest thing for me, is more of control this year over trying to kind of learn new tricks and engineer stuff. I'm always going to strive for it, but my main focus is definitely just always going to be improving that control.
Never stop working on your control. Yeah, you might think it's boring and everything else, but if you mastered it, make it part of your routine on, before you hit the street. Let me practice a couple control slides real fast and pop up, and once you do it, then go hit the street or wherever you're sliding at in the house or whatever. Especially in the houses, you got to know control, because if you're in a house and you're in a room, you only got 10 by 10 square on most hunts. I mean, you don't have a very big scene to slide in, so you got, okay, I know that wall's there. I know the guests are going to enter at this point and exit this point, and learn how your guests react to certain slides. I'm guilty of it, where I have slid behind somebody thinking they're going to run forward, and they ran backwards.
Yep.
Or, vice versa. You slid in front of them, and then they ran over top of you. You got to learn your people. You got to learn how guests react to your slides. Leave a little buffer, and don't go balls to the wall and get within inches. Inches of somebody, because they throw that arm up and smack you in the face. That shit hurts.
Yeah.
Train that when you're training. Train how to, get with that close to somebody. Yes. When you're actually doing it to guests, leave about max about a foot.
Yeah, I'd say maximum a foot, but the more comfortable you get, the shorter that distance is going to end up being.
Right.
But that's up to you.
When we train a lot of our guys, and we first start them off with, we set the cone out, and we want them to stop 3 feet in front of the cone, 4 feet in front of the cone, just so they understand is their speed. So if they're sliding and they stand up and they overshoot it and they get too much momentum, it gives them a little bit of leeway. If they do fall forward, you're not going straight into a guest.
Right.
Or straight into the wall, which I have done multiple times where I've ended up in a bush. That's a story for another time.
It's better to hit an object than to hit a person every time. Or damage yourself.
Damage yourself before you hit a guest. Put your body on the line before you hit a guest. At all costs, do not hit a guest.
Which we practice that as well.
We practice the bailout.
bailing and protecting people that we do potentially hit. We learn how to take them to the ground in a safe way to put ourselves in harm's way versus other people. And that kind of leads into like my next point of kind of being a protector in a sense. Haunt and just any scare house it's a dangerous environment. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how people are going to react to things, and you always got to be on your toes for stuff. And you might be having actors or just guests that can't defend themselves very well or don't know how to, and you're kind of, as a slider, at least at our haunt and our environment that we're in, we're kind of looked at as the role models or like the big brothers and sisters of our scare actors.
Pushed a lot since we've gotten into our spot. When we first got in, it was every man for himself. Let's not communicate with other actors. Me and him have pushed a lot of brotherhood and becoming one giant haunt family. Like you always look out for the little guy.
I feel like we've kind of broken down the community that it was and rebuilt it from the ground up. And that's everything involving with kind of the training that we put people through, all the way up to just how we act every night when we're actually out on the street. Right. I mean, up until, about 3 years ago, they were doing stuff completely different than what we train people for now. And
right, it's like when I was in other zones watching the sliders come through, I would try to talk to the sliders because I'm trying to learn all I can so I can be one of them that day. And, I go, hey, what's up? Like, ask them a question, and they're just a complete dick. And
yeah, they just didn't want to talk to you at all.
And I'm like, back to the ego thing I touched in on a little bit of the last episode is, you're doing a different job than me, but we're doing the same job.
Right.
All because you have knee pads on does not make you better than me.
And you're seen as a mentor, kind of something that we've touched on multiple times, is it takes experience at our haunt to get the privilege and the honor to be able to slide. Yep. It's kind of one of those privileged roles of you have to be known, you have to build experience to be able to be considered and eligible of doing it. So you don't want to ruin that for new actors and everything. Right.
And when you do get your shot, to kind of, do that tryout or show the haunt you're working for, hey, I can do this. Be ready. Don't, like you said earlier, don't just jump into it and I know what I'm doing and you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Always be willing to put yourself out for other people as well and protect others. Because, I mean, the amount of times that you and I have, broken up fights between guests, between each other, or just scare actors in general, guest on scare actor violence or guest on guest action, you don't know what's going to happen. I haven't even done it
on actor. It's like I've seen two actors going at each other over something stupid of like, you stole my scare. It's like, why are we arguing about that?
We're a family. We're meant to be bonded
and move tight. On. Go get the next one.
And having that responsibility that it comes with, I feel like is an honor to be looked at that way and to be mentored like that. But it's definitely a role that you have to feel comfortable with putting yourself into.
That goes to all veterans, not just sliders too. Like all veteran haunters, like don't be a dick.
Yeah, people are there to learn. They don't know what they're doing, especially first years. They're new, they're unfamiliar, and they're just looking for a vet to give them some experience.
Right. If you got a good rep to the haunt, and you've been doing this shit for a very, very long time, like Hollywood's been doing almost 20 years, that veteran should, every time we get a new person, even if it's not our zone or our area or our house that we're working in that night, and there's new people, I come in, to coach that person up. Nah, you're all good.
And Hollywood will even tell you as well. We can go back to the control thing from when he disconnected on that. We'll jump back on how Hollywood likes to train new people on slide and kind of his most important parts.
Break it down, when you're training someone, Jay, on controlling, like how to explain control to newcomers. Gotcha.
There he goes. He'll be back to finish whatever he was getting into with that one. But
Oh, this guy.
His connection's not that great. We'll get him in a
We'll get
stable connection at some point. We might even get him here in the studio at some point to actually get like a full consistent session with him. But we'll figure it out. It's a little bits and pieces right now. But kind of back to where we left off. What kind of like slider costumes have you seen that you're like a big fan of? Because we get going back into what we were saying with the privilege and everything of being a slider. You get some haunts, you get privilege of kind of picking what you want, accessorizing. We get a little bit of freedom, but we have to stick to a theme. But kind of what's the best kind of custom slider costume that you've seen?
I don't know their names. We'll just break it down to costumes and I'll try to think of names while I'm talking. Breathable clothing.
Yeah.
We're running, we're sweating. You don't be out there wearing, a winter jacket with a long sleeve shirt when it's 80 degrees outside, and have different variations to your costume as well as, if it's hot at the beginning of the season, like it is here in Ohio, usually opening weekend for us, it's still in the 80s and we're, I'm out there, I'm shirtless and just jeans. Coming back to jeans is, you don't want a thick pair of jeans. I know you like to wear sweatpants every once in a while. Find a pair of pants that are flexible, that you're not going to rip the crotch out of, that are breathable, and that are durable as well. And then like your shirts, like I said, I naturally run hot as a person. It's 69 degrees in my house right now with a fan on and I'm sweating.
Yeah.
So I wear this right here. This is my vest I wore last year. That's why I wore shirtless underneath, because I run hot as a person. Even, towards the end of the season, there was one season, it was damn near snowing, and I'm still just this. And people are like, dude, are you nuts? Like, you're going to get fucking sick. And I'm like, I'm dripping sweat right now. Like, there's steam rolling off my head. I'm dripping sweat. But it's also very comfortable for me. If you're going to slide any character, really, you don't have to just be sliders. Have comfortable clothing. What we got here? Oh, more pictures. Nice.
But
you scare me with
I would say with custom costumes and everything.
Yeah, you can touch more on the customism. I'm just gonna break it down from your generic what you should wear.
Right.
Don't layer up with thermals and big thing. Figured this out along the way too. 2 pairs of socks.
Yes.
You need the cushion. It's no fun. Hour 3 in the sliding and you got blisters.
Yep.
I wear 2 pairs of socks. I believe you wear 2 pairs of socks. Don't wear wool socks.
I do cotton socks usually as a base, and sometimes I will do wool socks, I will say, but that's mainly just because I've worn them pretty much my whole life. So I've gotten used to how they are, but they will give you blisters if you're wearing them like every single night, all night, multiple nights. Like, take care of your feet, and they're gonna take care of you. But try to think of what's comfortable the best way possible. Yep. I usually wear wool just because of the lack of not having anything else that I feel comfortable sliding in terms of filling up my boot. But I wouldn't recommend it for someone who's new, honestly.
So you can kind of see in this picture right here on Skunk over here. Like, he gets his body painted, which is fucking ill. He just wears a vest and then he's got his body paint on.
Yeah.
That picture right there, you can really see it. I don't really have any pictures of me in my shirt off because nobody wants to see that. But yeah, go back to your winter one.
The winter one?
Yep.
Let me see if I can find it. You can see Hollywood right there with his winter one.
Yeah, that's when the temperature drops a little bit. He's got that leather jacket on, and he's ready for the environment and the weather. You see that one,
mine right there.
Still, the temperature's dropping.
And I got normal t-shirt on under there. That's part of kind of my freedom of customization. You can kind of see a little logo peeking out right there, which I wasn't supposed to have, but it wasn't hurting anybody, and it was hidden enough. So that was just at an angle where you could actually see it. But
you're trying to be inhuman as possible. Don't out there, with your Nike logo on your sweatshirt. Don't be coming out there with your Adidas, sweatshirt on, a shirt on, something that matches your costume. It's a black shirt, so it matches. And just unfortunate in this picture, you can see kind of the logo.
Yeah. Normally it would not be visible, or I'd have tape over it to
Right.
kind of hide that logo.
I think it's one of
But
those slow nights. I think you were late that day.
I was
Okay.
late that day.
I got you.
So that was a rush job, but you can kind of just see, you know, based on some of our costumes. I mean, right here in this picture, this is kind of more towards the end of the season, so people are kind of 50-50 on what they're wearing here. Some people have long stuff, some people have short stuff, but
Yeah.
you can kind of see the variance in these costumes that we're all wearing. And, you know, we at our haunt, we get kind of a set theme and kind of a set costume loosely. I say that because the clothes that we are wearing for the most part are park property, and it's a costume that they gave us to wear.
If you're
But
gonna
some of
wear,
us are accessorizing it with a little bit extra stuff on there.
if you're gonna bring in your own costume to your hunt, get it approved through your costuming first. You know, you don't want to be in a dark area in neon colors. Doesn't work. Doesn't happen. You know, get it
Yeah.
approved through your costuming supervisor. Like I said, you want to fit the theme. I know I touched on that a little bit. Fit the theme. We all look the same theme.
Yeah.
We're all different, but we all have the same color schemes, all theme that we're going for.
Same colors, same style for the most part, but then a couple of tasteful accessories that we've
Yeah.
kind of added on, and the way that we've styled ourselves. And the way that ours works is they pull a clothing rack of basically everything that you can think of. Every single one of these costumes that we're wearing, it's on a rack at the beginning of the year. And, you know, you walk up to the rack and you say, okay, how do I want to build my costume? What do I want to wear out of the options that are
Right.
available?
They give you pretty tasteful selection of costumes.
Yeah, and that's how, you know, in mine you can see I've got this really thick coat on, and then in my summer wear when it's hot as the ninth ring of hell outside, then I literally wear almost nothing. I get painted like a skeleton because, you know, tall, lanky guy, and it shows up through the fishnet, really visible. And you know, they do all sorts of crazy designs on me. You know, on that one, you can see bullet holes that are in my chest, and it's painted like a skeleton. So that kind of that freedom, and I do super loose. You know, I barely go into it. I got this vest right here, and then I'm wearing sweatpants that you can't see, and that's literally
Right.
it. That's all I wear.
And by sweatpants, people, they're not just like your generic sweatpants. They're actually themed to his character.
Yes, they are black, like all black, comfortable sweatpants to match everything for it. You can even see it right there in the picture with my lower half. You know, it blends to what you see. So
Right. I didn't send you a picture for it. My vest. I call them ropes. They just look like burnt cloth.
Yeah.
That is draped all around my body because, you know, part of my thing is everybody should have their own silhouette. You don't want to just look like a guest walking through. Have a silhouette so where people see you from behind, your left, right, 360-degree view. You know, okay, I can that's a burnt rope right there. You know, he probably likes to burn shit. Or like on him, he's a skeleton, so, you know, he's got his vest on. You can see the skeleton underneath. You know, just have a, you know, silhouette, a theme, a good idea. Like if someone walks up on you, they can kind of get the gist that you're going for. The more detail you can put into something, the better. Where, you know, we're talking with costuming and everything, where we can keep upping our accessories and, you know, theming out so that way we're a little different. And, you know, people I got a scent this year. Shout out Brett. She bought me from Transworld, is where I'm going to smell like gasoline.
yeah,
No, it's not real gasoline, people. It just smells like gasoline. And he's going to get some skunk spray because this man stinks. You don't even need the spray.
yeah. I'd be ripping it naturally, but, you
Right.
know, when I don't got it, then,
Let
you
him
know,
get,
getting
let
that
me get some
spray out
chicken
there.
nuggets in him. He can, woo!
Exactly. And you can see kind of what Napalm is saying, you know, here's Hollywood again, and, you know, keeping that theme, staying uniform, but getting that personalization in there. I mean, you can see his hair is painted the same as his shirt. You know, he's got the lines on his forearms as well, but he's got his jacket to match our theme of kind of like post-apocalyptic and
Right,
the
that
white and
jacket,
black.
He's not on here, so I'm going to say it. I know he listens to this, but it matches his attitude. He means business.
Yes. And you can see, you know, don't wear anything neon or crazy that's going to clash against your theme. Try to be tasteful with it,
Right,
like
you're
you
a
can see in
clown,
Hollywood on that.
neon out. Go for it. You can kind of see in this picture, like, you got a little blood splatter on the side of his head, and you got the spider, which
Yeah.
he got the spider webs on his neck too. But, you know, it's still Hollywood, different version.
Yeah. And that's him just exercising that freedom. And he's got a spider web on top of his head too that's painted into his hair.
You can't really see in his hair, but in that night he had a spider web painted into his head, and it was sick looking.
It was. I was a big fan of that makeup. I was really big
pull up
fan.
Nox. You can see a lot of character in Nox.
Yeah, you got Nox right there with his green hair. Now we will. It was supposed to be white and black as our theme, right? But you can see a lot of green in this picture. Now, he did get in trouble for that later on.
Talk to you about this one,
but
yes, but you can see where the green does flow into his shirt. It does flow into his vest.
It's still tasteful. He's still trying to match it as much as possible with what he's got going on.
A little bit more neon green than it was supposed to be.
And his kind of theme for Nox is, like undead kind of rock star. We were thinking, kind of like Johnny Knoxville, and then shorten it down to Nox because he's crazy. He's very like small spoken. Usually doesn't talk much, but he's always doing some crazy shit, just like out of nowhere. So we named him Nox.
I forget what it's Guitar Hero as well.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero from Guitar Hero, where he combined the two, like Johnny Knoxville, crazy as fuck, and this dude is crazy as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you see him when he's acting; it's balls to the wall nonstop. Which he was one of the ones we helped train to where he is. He took advice from me and Skunk over here, and he took it, twisted it into his own version, and he's one hell of a slider right now. Like he's up there. Like I give him props. Like he's doing very well. Last year's first year.
Yeah,
won the MVP award, which is phenomenal. Which for people who trained him like me, Skunk, Hollywood helped a lot. It makes us feel good because like, all right, what we are teaching is standing out.
Yeah.
Same thing with Fenty. We trained Fenty last year too. Another phenomenal slider.
Yeah.
I mean, he is killing it right now. Some of the shit he's doing, I'm like, I might be too old to do that, Bubba. Like he was in that video doing the, the pissing dog.
Yeah.
It's like, he's taking it to the next level, which pushes us to, keep learning as well. And we're not the best by no means, but he's taught me shit I didn't know I could do.
Yeah, for sure.
The Hollywood back.
That's Hollywood coming back.
Oh shit.
Loading in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what we be saying.
Yeah, if he keeps messing up, we'll have you in the studio.
Yeah.
No, that works.
Yeah, that works for sure. Yeah.
Yep. So right now we're just kind of talking about
Oh man, there he goes.
Yeah, we'll probably have him on a different day.
We'll get him on a different day. He's having
will.
some troubles with it, but
Poor guy, I guarantee he's pissed off as hell.
Oh, he definitely pissed off as hell. I know he's looking forward to coming on and everything, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
But that goes into my next question though, and kind of our next topic that we actually got from one of our viewers, from Audrey, asking how do we get our names, the names of our other sliders, and kind of the backstories to it. And like we just touched on with Nox, kind of his backstory and how he got his name. He was a hard one to come up with. I'm not gonna lie. He took the longest to name.
It was the longest. I mean, it was almost half the run.
Yeah, it was almost half the season.
Still throwing out names because we just couldn't nail it down to what suits this guy.
Yeah.
He's
just so unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do and kind of how to fit the theme and stuff. And, we threw out Nox and it kind of stuck to it. And I mean, I'll show you later, but you can kind of see it. But from earlier in the backdrop, up above us, there's pictures of all of us that one of our fans made for us that has all of our names on it.
Yeah. I might end up posting that later as well.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, it's we got fans, and each of our names are different, our backstories, and people love to know what our names and backstories are and kind of how we got them. And we'll kind of list off a couple of them. Hollywood, like I said, I honestly have no idea how he got his name. So we'll let him get we'll let him come in here.
You can go into Fenty?
But yeah, Fenty, we named Fenty because I was trying to think of what could possibly be done with him. And a backstory with Fenty is I converted him into being a scare actor. He had never done it before. I told him about my love for the haunt community, brought him in, and he was a clown for a while with Napalm and I for about a year before we transitioned over into sliding. And he was named Wall Street at the time. But he was renamed Fenty because he came in and his slider character was literally just
But
Fent leaning in a corner.
I won't forget. It was. I think it was the second night we were open, and we do opening ceremony. We go on break. We do all that fun shit. We get to our first area that we were in the night because where we're at our park, we have time frames where we get to run the whole park. But
Yeah.
in those time frames, we got to be in certain areas of the park, and it was busy as hell, busy as shit that night. And I'm on top of the hill looking down towards the Rivertown area. And I just see this dude fentling hard. I was like, what? Is someone tweaking out now? Like, it's like, what's going on? And then he just came to life, spazzed out, and hit this fucking slide, hit this gap. Even when I was like, yeah, that's a close one. But no, he hit that gap and cleared it, and it went straight back into a fent lean. And I was like, what's going on?
He did
So
hit that.
I grabbed Skunk and everything, and he watched it, and he was like, Fenty, that's it. That's his name. And, we got it approved through, we like to have, 3 other people back it up so that
We take a vote on name approval to see if it sticks to them.
We don't really believe in naming yourself. I mean, people have preferences on shit. I mean, you can kind of throw out the idea of like, hey, I kind of want to be like this, and we'll mess with it. Like, I didn't name myself. He didn't name himself. Everybody got their name through someone else in the park, and they got approved by 3 people backed that name up.
Yeah. And I mean, next up we have looking at this picture, right behind Fenty, we got Hangover. This guy back here.
Is he up on the wall?
I think he's up on the wall. Yeah. And Hangover got his name because he's fraternity boy in college and gets absolutely plastered like pretty much every chance he gets.
He came in dry run night, hungover as shit.
Yes, he did.
It was dry run night. I mean, it's a more slow, chill night, but
pounding head and everything.
He came up, boys, I don't feel good. I was like, what's wrong? I'm hungover.
You're like, well, your name's Hangover now. You're stuck with
We threw out a couple of different names, and they just weren't fitting. And Hangover, it stuck. And, he embraced it.
And it just rolled from there. And then next behind him, we got Napalm. And Napalm got his name. We touched on that from, I think it was episode 1 of just
touched a little bit on
fire.
Fire. I am a very fire-based person. And there's Hollywood, too.
Right there. Don't know how he got his name, but he'll come on eventually and figure that one out. We got myself
got 2.
right
It's
there.
2 names, really. It's Hollywood and Hollywood.
That is true. He switches between the 2, and I feel like you can kind of connect the dots as to why he switches.
Once we get him on and everything's squared away with either his connection or if he comes into the studio, he'll explain that one a lot.
I tell you what, when Hollywood switches over to Hollyhood, it's gonna be a night.
Once Hollywood comes out, you better put your seatbelt on, kids. It's about to get wild.
It's great. And
then most nights, it's Hollywood.
Yeah, most nights. Then we got me over here with the orange hair on, flexing that.
Oh yeah.
Then we got
in that picture.
Knox over there, and here in the middle, he's not a slider, but that is Undertaker or
himself.
Dr. Nightmare.
Right.
Yeah, legend.
He's been at the park, God, fucking a long time. I remember coming in as a little guy, hearing him on the microphone, just letting people have it. I mean, he's been a big role model for me too. Dude never breaks character. I have tried to get this guy to break character. I can't.
He does not.
It. Like it gets to a point. We're acting around him, and he's out there talking, and he's in character and shit. And it's a slow night. Even when he's in walking, and there won't be a guest within 100, 200 feet, talking to himself, talking to his bag, talking out loud. The way he walks is like, I came up like, hey, you good? Like, everything good? In character, can't get it. I tried to just get simple responses out of him. It basically, like, as soon as he hits the, that makeup's on and that top hat comes on, he ain't breaking. And he don't. I've seen him out in public, and he notices who I am, and he's straight back in the character because he knows I'm trying to get him.
Oh yeah,
trying to get him to just be a normal person. But no, he commits to that character, and one of my big role models on committing to a character is him, and he's very good at what he does.
Good old Knox over there with his
green
crazy ass face and his green hair.
But you can kind of see in that picture, that was a colder night. Back to the jackets, we all got sleeves on. Even me, that was one of the nights I think supposed to snow. I started the night with my long sleeve on because I think in that picture we were getting off a break or going back to break. I like to stay warm when I'm not on the street, so I do carry sleeves with me. So when I'm not visually on the street, I put my sleeves on just to keep my body temperature up, because you start sweating on a cold night and you're just sitting there in the break room or in the green room or wherever you're at behind the scenes, and the more you sit there, the colder you're gonna get, and you're gonna start cramping up, and it just it's not fun.
Yeah.
Stuff. But luckily, I got this cute guy over here to keep me warm. Wink, wink.
Always,
oh shit!
always.
Oh shit! You got me back on the camera. Don't put me out there. Don't put my business in the streets like that.
I'm putting it out there. But hopefully we'll get Undertaker on here eventually as well, because he's such an iconic character that people absolutely love.
Yeah.
And I feel like not enough people out there know his backstory and the kind of what got him into everything, and how long he's been around. I mean, I think he's been around as long as Hollywood, if not longer.
More. Like, I remember
with
the
the
early
Haunt
2000s
industry.
and me just being, little. What the hell?
Ceiling caving in.
Right, sorry, technical difficulties. That's gonna be the theme of this episode.
It will
technical
be. It will
difficulties.
be.
All right, let's talk. Let's get into some of the fun stuff. Other than the fact of you grapefruit and Twitch, let's talk about you got any sliding moments that were embarrassing.
Honestly, no. I think that one with Twitch was probably it. That was the icing on the cake from episode 2.
Let's keep it on the sliding topic since we're talking about sliding. Let's talk about night 1. You made the team.
Yes.
You're getting thrown to the wolves in the streets.
My very first time ever out on the street.
Yeah. Did you kind of embrace that? I'm a slider in front of thousands and thousands of people, or did you kind of embrace it, or did you kind of just jump straight into it and let's go?
I never really felt it. I kind of just dove right into it. I feel like with my start in scare acting, just being thrown off the deep end as a clown, I feel like it didn't really change much when I was going out as a slider. I tried my best not to mess up, and I think it was my very first slide out on the street. I ended up sliding directly to a lady's feet and almost hit her and took her out. I did not, but I almost did. And there are people that we have slid with that have gotten in some pretty bad collisions with people.
It's going to happen. People.
It's going to happen.
But back to where we're training, we train ourselves, to take, if we do come in contact with a guest, on how to take them to the ground, which, it's a full wrap up, hand on the back of the head, and you make them land on top of you. You take the blow.
Yeah.
You don't want them to hit the ground, bust their head open. It's like they would rather see you take the blow and keep the guest safe, and deal with that issue later, because you can really take someone out. And I've seen it happen, not in person, but like videos of people sliding and just taking other people out.
Yeah.
And that can lead to a lawsuit. It can lead into all these things where we slide at an outdoor park. We have to be certified. Like we go through a certification test to be able to slide. We can't. It's not just anybody can walk in with a pair of pads on it and just go.
You have to be selected, and it's very, very rigorous. Our first year sliding, we went from 50 candidates, 50 applicants,
50
if you will, to try
it out. And the year prior, what was it? They kept 20.
I think it was 18.
18?
Something like that.
It was a big number,
give or take.
And our first year coming in, they took that number.
It was 8.
Yeah, from 18 to 8. With a lot
with
of people
50
trying
people
out.
trying, and a lot of returners.
I
think about half of them were returners. And we didn't think we had a chance. We did not have a shot in the dark.
Even we'd be out there trying out and practicing and everything. Even when we were at we all go to a sports park that's not on property, and we go out on our own time and we all go practice. Even practicing by myself, I was like, there ain't no way in hell.
Yeah.
There ain't no way in hell. Like, just seeing these people's characters and the way they slide and how long they've been doing it. I even told Skunk over here, like, the day we tried out, I was like, where are we going? Because I don't think I'm making it. I was like, I don't even have a backup to where I want to go right now.
Yeah.
Like,
if you've got a sports park around, you practice.
Parking lot, school parking lots, that's where I started, back before I met up with everybody and, introduced myself to everybody, and they taught me what I know now. Back when I had my own gear, I went to my high school parking lot when school wasn't in session, and I had a nice blacktop, so I just went there. Skating rings is also a nice place to slide. They have very smooth concrete. You don't want to go on some sidewalks because they're very it's like sandpaper. Like you're not gonna be able to slide far. Like
Yeah,
it's,
you got like hockey rinks or
right.
something
You
around
gotta be
you.
able to find a good surface on where to practice sliding.
Yeah.
All grounds are different, so yeah, I recommend finding different types of grounds so you can learn. Where we slide at Kings Island, it's we have blacktop, we have pavers, we have concrete, we have polished pavers, we have more gravel, but it's not gravel, it's like sealed gravel walkways, which that's very rough to slide on, and it's very learn your grounds.
I think we got about 6 surfaces that we slide on.
Oh, it's nuts. Like,
it's crazy, and they're all different. Every single one of them are different. You have to account for it differently. There's different distances you slide, different ways you have to stand up on it. It all goes into, back to that safety, learning your environment, being in control, because you might think that you're solid on one surface, but then you hit another one and it's completely different, the way that everything that goes into it.
Gotcha. Let's talk about tricks a little bit.
Yeah.
Learning the jump.
I cheater jump.
You cheater jump?
I do not naturally jump. There's videos out there on the difference between cheater jumping versus real jumping, and
sure
the difference of that we can kind of break down, because Napalm actually jumps and I cheater jump, and he can get into the description on the difference of those in terms of how he does his actual jump and then how I cheat the system and do my cheater jump.
All right, I will begin by saying there's no one correct way to jump. There's not. There's many ways to jump. I know people who jump just and they go into a slide, they don't put their hands on the ground, they just use all core and leg, pop up, jump over. Me personally, I use my full body when I jump. It's my hands are on the ground, my knees are on the ground. Obviously, we're sliding. And I use my full body to be able to push up and clear whatever I'm jumping. Where Skunk, I have not mastered your cheater jump. I'm still trying to figure that one out. The way he does it is so fluent, it's so smooth. It looks like a normal jump, but just the way he takes off. I mean, he can jump more people than I can just because he cheater jumps.
Yeah. That's back to that smoothness of making it look clean and smooth. I've kind of mastered my cheater jump, and I feel like no one else that we slide with has been able to cheater jump.
No, yet. I have not found another slider who has jumped the way you do, which I'm not dissing the way you jump at all. Like I said, there's not one correct way to jump. But
I think it's a flex.
It really is. It is. And I mean, it's one of the things where I have tried to learn the way this man jumps, and I can't do it.
I think the easiest way to describe it as a visual, I wish we had a video of it, is I will jump like a frog, essentially. You know how frogs will kind of angle themselves upwards, and then they use their back feet to launch themselves.
But the way he does it, it's like he pops up. When I jump, I'm taking off from my knees. He kind of tilts back a little bit and takes his toes and lunges forward, which the way he does it, it's so smooth. Can't figure it out. My goal this year is to be able to jump 5 to 6 people. Right now I'm at 4. He can do 5.
We do 5 and 6.
5 and 6. We did that last year in the shows. We'll have to get some videos of our shows up too.
There are YouTube videos out there of our show as well. If you want to check it out.
Right.
And I believe there is a video of you and me jumping like 5 to 6 people.
I think that one night. Fun story about that real quick. We were behind scenes practicing, and I had 3 lay down. They weren't too confident that I can do it, and in my mind, I'm like, the most I've ever jumped is 2.
Yeah.
That, and it wasn't even real people. It was like one person in like a cone.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is gonna be interesting. And I had 3 people that I found who actually trusted me enough, even though they were second guessing me in their heads. Like I can see it on their faces. Like, let's brace for impact. Like he ain't gonna make it. Like at the time, I was a little bit more on the heavier side of where I wanted to be, which now I am on the way back down to my ideal sliding weight. No, I was a little bit bigger, and I didn't have confidence in myself. I just told myself, like, hey, just, if I land on them, I kind of told them where I was going to land, how I'm going to land, all that shit, so they can kind of embrace for that. Well, I ran, and I jumped 3 people. I was like, shit. Hey, in the show, put 4 down. Didn't practice it. Showtime comes, 4 went out, and they all kind of looked at me, and they're like, he ain't going to make it. He ain't gonna make it. Sure enough, I cleared 4, and I was hyped as shit.
Oh yeah.
And right behind me with him, and he did 5, and it just, you can just hear the crowd direction, like most of the season when we did our show, I only was pushing for 2 people because I was like, I want people to build up trust in us and what we can do, and I want them to build trust in themselves of what they're able to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hit 4, 5, almost 6 people tonight, clearing them, and the crowd just went nuts because they were all used to us jumping 2, which, you jump 2. I mean, I know there's people out there who can jump 12, 13, 14 people, which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nuts. I strive
to get to that point.
That is my goal, is to get to that point. Like, I don't know what anti-gravity button they got. They just push it when they do. I want that button if you got it.
I cheater jump, but I don't know if I could cheater jump that hard.
It is
like, that's crazy.
Like, the K Brigade, for real. Like, whatever they're doing it right. Like, I know they got different grounds than we got and everything. What in the hell is going on out there? Fucking
crazy shit going on out there.
Sorry if you heard that. No, it's just the way they slide is insane, and there are a lot of the people, like the K Brigade's one of those groups that I study a lot on how they move, how they jump, how they do a 360, how they do some of their tricks. Where me and Hangover last year, we got very good of him sliding at me, laying out on the side, and I'm jumping him as he's sliding in, as I'm sliding. Yeah. That was super cool to learn as well. Me and you actually didn't come up with the trick, but we were the first ones who showed our group at the time, hey, let's try this. And we showed them that, and they're like, going in the show. Learn how to 360. I know some people think it's hard. Some people think it's simple. That's one of them tricks where, it's not as simple as it seems. Learn how to do that. Jumping is one, learning how to do certain tricks, and not just in shows, but you can take those tricks. Don't do nothing crazy out on the streets, but take them tricks and put it in as your scare. When you're sliding into a group, don't just stand up and not finish. I call it finishing your slide. Once you stand up still in your character, still in your slider. Man down.
Man down.
About
to take the whole table down with me. Jesus.
Stand up in character. I just see a lot of people. They slide into a group and they just mosey standing up. I'm like, get up with a purpose, people. Like, people, when they watch you slide, yeah, they think it's cool that you're sliding, but it's also how you finish that slide on where, when I get up in character, I don't just mosey, get up, oh, rah, ha, 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 whatever. No, whenever I get up with a purpose. And as soon as I stand up in that person's face, I already got my target picked out is, I'm gunning for you. Whenever I stand up, your ass is grass.
Facts.
I don't know. You got any preference on when you're sliding on, like, tricks wise anyway? Yeah, any tricks you want to cover?
Trying to think.
There's so much shit we do. It's kind of all at once.
I like doing the 180s. I like doing the 180s like between...
I'm sorry for the background noise, people. I don't know what in the heck is going outside my house right now.
I like sliding between legs, doing the 180s between legs. That's a cool one.
That's very cool.
But jumping, I'd like to get better at jumping for sure.
Yeah, I think so as well. You got any advice to any new sliders or hunters in general? Let's just do sliders. Any new advice to a new slider?
Focus on control. Building control is going to be the best thing that you can possibly do. I can't stress it enough. You'll hear it from literally everyone. You can't be a slider unless you get that control down. No one's going to trust you enough to really do anything. And that's why Napalm and I are able to jump, 5 people that are willing to lay down and risk taking a hit for us because they've built that confidence in us so much just from the way that we slide that it's their trust in our hands on if we hurt them severely or not. I mean, if we go down on top of one of these guys, it's not going to end well. So we try our best to have that confidence of what we are doing because of our training, but we try not to also have blind confidence to where we are biting off more than we can chew and taking too much of a risk. Yeah. Don't go out and immediately try jumping 5 people, obviously.
Don't recommend it. When I train a lot of I'm not a professional jumper. I will never be a professional jumper. I will never claim to be a professional jumper. But when people come to me and ask me, can you teach me how to jump? I take a cone, a stick, just something basic to put on the ground. So then they get the idea of where to take off, where to land, how to, what height do I need to clear that object, and to trusting your equipment on if I do leave the ground jumping off my knees, are my knee pads going to shift, which it happens. I've done it in the show, which is very embarrassing.
Yeah. I've dislocated my knee during the show because of my pad pop off.
Yeah.
Real story. You can see it on video. I get up real quick and I disappear. You don't realize what happened, but I mean, last year was a bad year for me. I dislocated my knee during the show at the end of the night, and then Holly Hood actually dislocated my knee and my shoulder.
He was off one night, and we did this trick where me and Fenty, usually me and you, were up there and we stage a fight. And as we're fighting, everybody else slides under our legs, and Holly Hood took me out. It's on video. It's out there in the world. Like, you can see, like, he's the last one to go, and boom, just takes my knee out.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't dislocate it like he did. Like, that was a very, very, rough hit that he took. Very rough hit. And you'll have, your equipment malfunctions where I've been in a show, and magically, somehow, I lost both my steel toes.
Yeah.
So now I'm out there just holes in my boots, no steel toe, straight socks. And I'll say, I got a lot of shit to do in the show. Like, I got to keep everybody moving. Because me and him's like, we give cues. I know you can't really see it in the show, but there's cues that we do to let people know when to slide, where to slide, and all that shit. So I knew I had to be there. So I did the whole show with no steel toes, and my toes were on fire by the end of that show. And everybody was like, I ended up handing my steel toes to guests in the crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, here, hold these. And they were freaking like, what is this? What do we do? I was like, just take it home. I don't care what the fuck you do with it. But I did the whole show without my gear, without my steel toes in, which sucked. But, you got to commit to the stupid shit.
Yeah. But I think for episode 3, part 1, because it's going to be a multi-part.
Right. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. We're still working out the kinks. This is all new for us. Like, this is the first time we've ever done a live, video feed.
Yeah.
Anything like that. We're all used to the audio. We'll have Holly Hood back on. We'll probably have him come to the studio. We're going to work on getting the kinks ironed out. I know this episode was a little chaotic. We're going to go deeper in the sliding. Just bear with us on this shit for now. Like, it's all new.
We're new. We have very limited experience in any type of like videography or anything like that. So we have no clue what we're doing.
I know this episode probably isn't as good as episode 1 and 2, but we're learning. We're moving forward.
We're always improving. Every episode.
Getting better. I know it started off a little crazy, and we were in and out with some video calls. But we'll get it figured out by the time the next one rolls around, and hopefully we just have him come to the studio.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if we can't make the studio, hopefully we figure out this link deal, because
the connection and everything. And if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, put it on social medias.
Comment. Instagram, we're always on Instagram. DM us. I'll post stuff whenever I can on Instagram. We're gonna get some videos and I'll take pictures of gear and show kind of what our gear looks like after a season's of wear. Other than my knee pads, I had to throw those away. So I had to get new ones.
We'll get a video eventually of making gear as well, so you guys can see how we do what we do.
Any questions? I tag on all of our things, our Instagrams and everything. DM us, comment on our stuff. We'll do our best that we can to answer. If we don't answer your DM or your comment, we will try our best to answer it in the podcast as well as we can. Things get kind of crazy sometimes. Life happens. We get some days we get multiple questions. Some days we don't get no questions. We'll do our best to answer those questions. Make sure you check us out on Instagram at Slidercast, YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, we're on Spotify. We're working on getting the TikTok and everything figured out. So we'll start posting on that more once we start getting more video content. It's about to be our busy season when we're practicing, 2-3 times a week. So while we're out there, we're going to try to do our best to get videos for you guys so you can kind of see how sliding works. Not just sliding, but like we'll talk to other characters out there, other people, while we're vlogging and everything to kind of get the most information as possible for you guys.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to hear something specific, please let us know.
You got a video topic you want us to cover? We got a busy schedule now, but we're always open to suggestions on ideas or something that you guys want to see. And I mean, we're gonna have people from all sorts of industry, like all sorts of branches of the haunt industry coming up. Around makeup, peak season.
SFX. We'll try to work. I'm gonna start reaching out to some of these mask makers and costume makers. Yeah. I would love to hear from them. Other haunters from other parks, if you guys are listening, you want to come on, and once we get the video call figured out, DM us and we will try to fit you in a schedule, and we'll interview you. We want to hear other people's stories as well. It's just not all about us and what we know. We don't know everything. We want to learn from you guys as well.
Yeah. Or if you're a new potential scare actor that's never done it before and you want to come on the show and, ask live questions about it or be a guest about it, we're, more than welcoming on that. Come on, talk to both of us live and kind of get a feel for it, whatever you want answered, and feel it out from there. But
I think that's pretty much it for this. Part 1 of sliding. I know we talked about a lot, but we still got a lot more to talk about sliding. Sliding, we can talk about it for hours if we really wanted to. And especially once we got Hollywood on. Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Expect a good one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so sliding part 2 will be out whenever we can get scheduling figured out with Hollywood. He's got a lot of good knowledge on stuff we still don't even know that he's still teaching us, and we'll get other sliders on as well and see what they get to. I know Syndicate sliders. I would love to hear from them. Learning what he's got going on. I know he's one of the OG sliders from Not Scary Farm. I would love to hear from him learn what he's got to say. I'm gonna reach out to him as well and see if he can give us some more insight on the stuff that we don't know. And we're only 3rd year into this. We don't know everything. Yeah. But we're gonna give you guys the information that we got and what we got with this. We're doing all this for you guys, just to teach you guys things, and we want to learn as well. Yeah. You got anything else?
I think that's it. I think that's.
I guess there's drag races at my house tonight, people. I'm sorry.
I think that's it for this episode, though. But next time we will have Hollywood back on, more stable connection to where he can actually talk without being interrupted, because we really want you guys to hear his story and his background.
He's got a really cool story, guys.
But if you've got any questions for him or anything as well, next time we'll have all of his socials pulled up for you to be able to link it to and figure it out. He will, he's got an Instagram, he's got a TikTok. He does respond to all of his messages. He's got a pretty heavy following because of how long he's been doing it. So we'll bring him on. He's got good info. But
until next time.
Yeah, I think that's it for this one.
Remember, give me money.
Yeah. Put the money in the bag.
Put the money in the freaking bag.
But I am your host, Skunk.
I am your co-host, Napalm.
And we will see you guys on the next one. It'll probably be even more chaotic when Hollywood is here in person.
It's gonna be nuts.
I can guarantee it. But see ya.
Let's talk about it. Talk about the money, talk about the flow, talk about the grind, talk about the moves. Less on the criminal, already know they discriminate. Getting bread, gotta eat, dinner plate. To get up on my level, gotta elevate. And there's levels to the shit, I just let them hate. Niggas think the competition I eliminate. I know the game better.